Okay guys, I'm excited about this one. I'm Elliot and that's Phoenix, and today we're going to talk about from rock bottom to rebuilding, the 5 steps I use to build back up from rock bottom. I'd say bigger and stronger and better than before, but man, that's an understatement. Let's get into it. Look, bad things happen to good people. There's no way around it. It sucks. That doesn't mean you have to suck. So I hit my rock bottom. I thought things couldn't be worse. I thought years and years of my life had been wasted, is what it felt like. And I felt like there was no reason to go on, and things couldn't get worse. And I had this negative spiral going on, and I was in a really bad place. And then I was loading a lawn tractor onto a truck, and it tipped over backwards, and the loading ramps fell, and I got crushed against the loading ramps. And so I was sitting there crushed, my spine, not my spine, my ribs about as crushed as they could be, this thin aluminum rail missing my neck by like half a centimeter. And I was crushed under there and thought I was dead for a moment. And then I thought to myself, you know what I think? I think this is my rock bottom. In the story that I choose to tell myself and I will have moving forward, getting crushed under here, like this is my rock bottom. And something happened in that moment that we're going to talk about in one of these steps that is the entire framework and groundwork for getting out of this crisis reactive mode. I'm not a therapist. I am someone who has been through some things, and I'm just here to share my experience with you. So let's hop into it. So step 1, boom, title card. Step 1, the number one mistake that keeps most people stuck is they keep making things worse. Look, so here it is. Here's something that you need to know. Stop making things worse. Look, you don't want to dig to rock bottom and start working really hard on building a basement apartment for your rock bottom, right? Like, stop making things worse. That's it. That's the first thing you need to do. And sometimes when you're in a negative loop, it means like not doing anything. Like no action is better than the wrong action at this point. So if you miss a workout, don't binge eat, right? That's sort of like getting a paper cut, like, or you're screwing up your diet or this thing that's important to you. Oops, you went off your diet. And instead of like recovering from that, you just eat a bunch because you're like, well, I screwed up anyway. No, you're making things worse, right? That's like getting a paper cut and then amputating your arm. It doesn't make sense. And a lot of the things we do as humans just don't make sense. So step 1, stop making things worse. Let this be your rock bottom. So we self-sabotage. We as humans self-sabotage. And I'll tell you what one of the steps is to help you not self-sabotage. It's actually incredibly simple. But look, if you get criticized and you feel bad and then you get on your phone and scroll for hours to like numb yourself, that's not helping. If you feel anxious and you start isolating yourself from people who could actually help you, that's not helping. We've all done this. I'm not saying that as a value thing where you're not valuable for doing these things. I'm saying that as that once you become aware of it, then you can fix it. So step 1, stop making things worse, which will set you up for step 2. Step 1, stop making things worse. If you're at the bottom, stop digging, make a choice, decide that's your bottom. Step 2, find a goal. You need something to move forward to that justifies all this discomfort and suffering, that makes it worthwhile, as defined by you. This is not something that comes from outside or society. This is something that you build up from within yourself. Okay, so step 1 is stop making things worse. Step 2 is you need a goal, even a tiny one. And if you're like I was, it's like, oh, I need a 30-year career plan, or I need this major thing happening. No. Bad. Calm down. You don't need all these things. You need just a little thing, just a little goal, right? And if you're in a bad place, that goal could be something as simple as brush your teeth. Maybe even doing the laundry is hard. Like just a little thing. You don't need a 40-year plan. You don't need the next 10 steps. You just need the next step, because you'll find when you take a small step it makes taking the next step easier and easier and easier and easier. So you don't need a big leap. You don't need a gigantic change. You need to do just one tiny little thing. Just set a goal, a little goal, a short-term goal, nothing massive. Cook dinner, make a bed, brush your teeth, pick some stuff up off the floor, take out the trash. Little, little, little. Okay, remember we talked about before, bad things happen to good people. Maybe you're in this hole or rut because of something you did and that hurts and that stings. Maybe you're in this hole or rut because of something someone else did and that hurts and that stings. Maybe it's a combination of those things. That hurts, that stings. Look, things, sometimes they suck, and that's part of the human experience. And dealing with that is not easy, but it can be worthwhile. So step one, stop making things worse. Step two, set a plan, a goal, a little one, just something, some positive momentum. Step three is separate pain from suffering. Look, this is one that I haven't heard people talk about at this point, but this is super important. Pain is not the same as suffering. So we're gonna define these terms in a way that makes sense so we can continue communicating about them. Look, pain is something that's in the moment to let you know that there's something wrong. For example, you break your toe. There's a lot of pain. That pain is your body's way of saying, like, don't walk on your toe. Like it's broken, it needs to heal. Pain does not have a value assigned to it. It's neither good nor bad. It is unpleasant, but pain is this like notification to you, your body, your mind, that there's something wrong and you need to deal with it. Suffering is different. Suffering is, oh no, I broke my toe. I'm worried about how much this is going to hurt when I go get the groceries or take care of the kids. That is suffering. That is entirely in your head. There is no actual additional pain in that moment. And so one thing when we're in these negative spirals, we're in a lot of pain, but we're also creating a lot of suffering for ourselves, which is not good. Step four, title card, bring in some trusted advisors. Look, when you're in crisis, you're like a person on fire. You're blinded by the flames, you're choking on the smoke. You might be standing on a dock right next to water, and all you need to do is take one step and the fire's out. But you can't see that because you are just in crisis mode and you are reacting. And that's why you need to bring in some trusted advisors, friends, family, professionals, people who can see clearly what you can't see. Actually, at this point, feel free to comment below. Tell me what's a person, who has helped you. What's a person? Don't tell me what's a person. Tell me like who's a trusted advisor, like what's the position, what's someone that has helped you out of a hard time. Honestly, I was so embarrassed and isolated and alone by what was happening to me, and I couldn't talk about it because it really was a spiral caused by I'll take responsibility. Some of it was my actions. A lot of the pain and suffering were from someone else's actions. And so I didn't really have someone to talk to about it. So I talked to AI about it and set the framework and was able to actually get some help in the moment, which is like mind bending. But bring in some trusted advisors. Get help. Okay. Let me know the sort of things that helped you guys in the past. It's awkward and embarrassing to say AI was one of the things that helped me, but it did. So title card 5, boom, boom, step 5. Here we go. Last one. Build a cocoon. This might sound weird again, but I think of this as kind of like a little caterpillar. You're a little caterpillar like sprinting along and like, oh no, something happened, squish, you got stepped on and you're like in this little hole. Look, step 1 is don't dig any deeper, okay? Step 2 is come up with a goal, like make things better. We gotta come up out of this hole. Step 3 was separate pain from suffering, right? Like climbing out of this hole is going to be uncomfortable. It's gonna be work, but it's absolutely gonna be worth it. Step 4, bring in trusted advisors. Like, hey guys, like can someone like put a stick down here, or is there a better route that I can't see out of this hole? Or hey, just make sure I'm not continuing in the wrong direction. And so step 5 is you need to build your cocoon. You need to build your safe space. It's okay to turtle a little bit here. The biggest myth about these comebacks is that they happen overnight. Look, real transformation is like a cocoon, right? If you want to go from this caterpillar, this weak, squishy thing that just hides all the time to a butterfly who can fly around and ride the wind and travel for miles and spread its beautiful wings and explore an entire world that was entirely unknown to the caterpillar. This takes time. Real transformation can take time. You need to stop the bleeding. You need to stabilize, to rebuild. It could be quiet, intentional space. And this is the quiet work that you do when no one's watching. These are the things you do when you're all alone. This is the thing that lets you grow into something that makes you unrecognizable from what you were before. It's not hiding, it's preparing to fly. Look, so your comeback isn't just one giant leap. It starts with the one decision to stop making it worse. That's the main thing. Stop making things worse. Stop digging your hole deeper. So stop digging, pick a goal, one goal, and then move towards that. You'll feel better with that. Separate your pain from your suffering. Recognize that discomfort is a normal part of the process. It lets you know that something's changing. Bring in your trusted advisors. If it's embarrassing or a weird thing, like you need help, that's okay. The same brain that made the problem is going to have a hard time solving the problem. So get some other brains on there. Build your cocoon, get ready to fly. Because in my next video, I'm going to talk about the 5 things that'll bring you from this crisis response reaction, which is what you're working on healing from now, to actually you're flying. And what that's going to look like. So now that you know the mistake, it's time to learn how to heal from this. So look, click the video on your screen right now. It'll show you the single most important steps for starting to stack your wings and building this unstoppable momentum that will take you from your lowest point and start building you to your highest point. So let's go. Let's get it. Like and subscribe.